You want to get in there? Yeah. So last year, my Honda Pilot, it needed a part that wasn't. It was funny. After I had already driven past what they thought was suitable, um, uh, Honda sent me a notice that they could replace the. Oh, I forgot what it is now. Anyways, it was an $8,000 part that needed to be replaced, but because my car had too many miles on it, they like I would have had to fight to get it, and it was like an $8,000 thing. So I was like, no, you know, she was good to me, but she gotta go. Girlfriend was, you know, without the part, I couldn't pass emissions, and if I can't pass emissions, I can't get registration in our part of Virginia. So I've just been, I had the inspection done because inspection got done before the emissions. But I had basically had dead tags on my Honda for a while. So I was like, you know, for a long time, you know, because my husband is 6'7", I can't just buy any old car. You know, I actually do have to do some research. And another consideration that I had to think about was that my daughter is also like on an accelerated growth plan. She's only, well, she'll be 4 in May, but she's the size of a 5 and she's pushing into 6-year-old girl clothes. So she is also going to be very tall. So I needed something that would be big enough for my entire family of, you know, 2 tall people. And, you know, I looked at SUVs. I really liked the Mitsubishi Outlander. I really did. But I just didn't think that, one, like, a lot of people talked about how it wasn't really that great on, like, off-roading, and we live off of a dirt, like, 1.5 of gravel roads, and so I was worried about the wear and tear. I wanted 4-wheel drive, and so I was looking at, like, the Volkswagen, well, I forgot what the Volkswagen SUV is. And then I also looked at, you know, like Toyota 4Runner, which was like really expensive. Like, I'm like, Toyota, what crack are you smoking? Like, why are cars so expensive? That was another thing. Just everything was so expensive, you know? When I bought my Honda Pilot, it was like, it wasn't the lowest. It was like maybe the second lowest, you know, model. But it was $35 for everything. And then now it's like can't even get a car for like, you know, like 30,000, you know, for what I wanted. And so I was like, I really love trucks, you know, and since I only commute twice a week into the office, I started looking back at trucks, especially because like the first car I ever drove on was like a 1997 Ford 150 XLT, and you know, and that's what I learned to drive on. And my dad has always had Ford 150s, so I was like, you know, I went back and forth mentally of like the gas mileage and you know, but I'm like, but I know my whole family fits in it because my dad has taken me, you know, my kiddo, my husband, and my mom in the truck, and we all fit in it. So I started looking at trucks. So I looked at CarMax, I looked at Carvana, and such. And, you know, a lot of people have negative opinions about Carvana because of, like, have done sketchy shit in the past. And I'm aware of that stuff. And, you know, I've watched the same probably YouTube videos that you've probably seen if you're searching, should I pick Carvana? And, you know, a lot of people are like, oh, CarMax will give you the better deal. CarMax has better pricing, blah, 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 blah. CarMax for this case, in my case, was not pricing better. Carvana was pricing much better than CarMax when I was shopping for a truck. And so for like apples to apples, it was actually like Carvana was beating them out in trade value. They were going to give me $4,000 for my Pilot. I think by the time of like when I traded in because of the miles, I still got like $3,600, which is far. the Pilot was not worth $36,000. I honestly think CarMax giving me $1,500 is probably more of what it was worth. But I'm gonna take 36 over 1,500, and plus the trucks themselves were like pricing better, like for the mileage and like the year. You know, I did a lot of comparison online, and you know, Carvana was just beating CarMax. Now, I know sometimes maybe that's not the case, but in my case, when I was shopping last summer, they were. So I ended up pulling the trigger, and just, it was funny because like I can be an overthinker and I think that's what it took me an extra month to like what do I do? And finally, I just put all my stuff in Carvana and I picked a freaking truck and I hit purchase or whatever in the app. And it was 3:30 in the morning. I don't know. I have a tendency to make like big decisions at like early in the buck crack of dawn when I don't know if it's an ADHD trait, but I bought a truck at 3:30 in the morning. Now, Carvana didn't deliver here. Oops, sorry. Pan. Carvana actually didn't deliver to my house. I'm a little like in the woods, and it wouldn't let me like pick like Target up the road or something. I don't know. I think I've heard that they've gotten in trouble for that. So, and I didn't think to use like a friend's address, because my friend later was like, you could have used our address, because they actually did deliver up north, like more of north of the county. My truck was actually in the Ford dealership, not the Ford dealership, the Carvana dealership down in Richmond. And another thing I also wanted to say is that there sometimes is like free shipping and sometimes not free shipping. And so that was like another consideration. If I had like wanted to spend a little bit more money, like to have the car to have shipped to like Richmond, I probably would have had a little bit more better of a deal on a truck. But I was like, I don't have money for a down payment right now. So I went with one of the trucks that had free shipping, and I didn't have to put any money down. And I didn't put any money down. I think the only thing I really put money down was insurance. I did the Gap, and I did like the Carvana thing. They have like their own like little extended warranty, I think. Yeah, I think it's pretty much a warranty plan. So like when you first buy your vehicle from Carvana, you have, I think, 7 days, or it's like very, very short mileage. I think someone told me like 4,000, but it was actually like less than that. Basically you have 7 days or whatever that mileage rate is, to, if you decide like, oh, I hate this car, because it is tough. Like that is the one tough part about Carvana, is that you cannot test drive these cars. Like pretty much, I think if you got them through the truck, basically you still sign the papers and you like drive it, and then you have to decide. I've seen like one video where he drove it around while the tow truck driver finished the paperwork, but I don't know if that was really kosher or what, but just to say, you know, you still have that 7 days or whatever 100 miles to decide if that is the car for you. I mean, I've driven Ford 150s. They all pretty much they all drive the same. Like my truck drives like my dad's truck, and his is a year younger or older. And then, you know, of course it drives better than the 1997 Ford 150 because it's a lot newer, but for the most part, I really didn't need to test drive it. But I don't know, maybe if you're like in a predicament where you're driving a car that you've never driven, maybe go to the dealership, test drive it, see if you like it, then like look at Carvana. I don't know. But and then when I went to go pick it up, because the truck was too big, it was like one of those like places that has like the little like a coin, like vending machine type thing. The truck was too big for it, but I did actually get to see this girl. She was like buying, like her whole family was with her. She was buying her first car. It was actually kind of cute. She got to pick the giant coin in, and then her car, like, it did a little show. It's gimmicky, I will admit, but it was kind of fun. But so if you actually go to one of their like vending machine type, stores, you can get that experience. So it actually might be a fun experience for a first time car owner like her. And the guy that was, checking me out, not checking me out, but like, well, like with doing all the paperwork, he was quite nice. He was very like, very nice. And so, yeah, I mean, I don't, and I've had the truck, gosh, like, I think since September. Yeah, September, that's right. I've had the truck since September. I've hadn't had any issues. The only thing that, like, was, like, a little, like, it wasn't even a hiccup. So, like, in Richmond, you don't have to have emissions testing, but in my county, in Northern Virginia, you have to have emissions testing. So I got a notice from Carvana because they did, like, all my paperwork. They're like, well, before we can issue you your tags, you have to get an emissions test. And they said they would pay me back. And now that I think about it, I don't know if I've ever gotten paid back. Huh. I'll have to actually go. Because I remember it said that keep your receipt and submit it and they'll pay you back. But actually I need to follow up on that. I mean, it was like $20, but still, it's $20. Yeah, so that was like the only little thing. The other little thing that I could be nitpicky about is that the truck came with the flaps for the your feet, but they put them in the back of the bed, and I kind of forgot about them. And so, anyways, it's just a little nitpicky thing. I mean, I think they should have installed them, but whatever. But yeah, I haven't had any issues with the truck. It's still going good. I honestly, if Carvana is around when the next time I like buy a car, I will do Carvana. It was nice not having to deal with the dealership. Like, I hate dealerships. I mean, they're just like, I don't want to haggle. Just give me the damn car. Like, give me my paperwork and let me go. Like, I hate going to the dealership. And especially being an introvert, I loathe, like, that's like one of the things that I loathe. So Carvana's experience for me was amazing. It is kind of overwhelming to shop for a car though, because it's such a big purchase. But I mean, heck, it was fine, and they do have that 7-day deal or whatever. But honestly, I would buy my new, like, if I were getting in the market for a new car or a used car, really, I would totally do Carvana again. It seemed like they did have new trucks. I think what it was is that they were like models that didn't sell from a dealer. So they are newer cars, but of course they were out of my price range. But my experience, Carvana, overall positive. I really have no complaints. I love my truck. It's it's the gas mileage is the gas mileage, but I mean, I love it. Like, it's good. I'm glad, especially this winter kind of sucked. So it was good having a 4-wheel drive truck. So yeah, my experience, good. I have real no complaints. So anyways, talk to you guys later. Like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the future.